Welcome back. My name is Austin, and I'm your favorite bookkeeper. And today we're going to look at a question that does get asked a lot. You always see this. How do you grow your business? Okay, this is my take on it. Okay, do one thing at a time first. I know a lot of companies say, oh, you need to have 7 or 8, 10, 20 streams of income. That will be very difficult to manage at the beginning. It's very, very hard. I see it on a daily basis. Okay, so I have clients that do have multiple companies and they can't manage them. Before they came to me, their books were a mess. Okay, so I had to clean up their books, and a lot of times their workflow is so bad on their side that they cannot even keep up with their basic stuff like receipts, or if they have a real estate company, a lot of times they want or they have specific transactions that are coincide or go with a specific location, and I'll send them an Excel sheet, and I never hear nothing about it for a month. And I have to keep reminding them, hey, I need this Excel sheet so we can get caught up on this. And I got to keep reminding them over and over and over again. And they will not sit down and talk to me or get a workflow going so that they can manage it a lot easier. They're just too busy. I call it being too busy to do better. That's what I call it. I've coined that phrase. I've been saying that for years. So if anybody says it, they got it off of me. All right, so you have to be careful not to do that. And I do that a lot as well. I become too busy to do better. What I mean by that is you become so busy and you're so focused on the income, the net income, everything else becomes messy. Sometimes, and I hear that, oh, I cannot stop, I have to keep going. You have to stop. You have to say, okay, every Friday or every Saturday for 2 hours, I'm working on this. All right. And I do this, I try to do this as much as I can. A lot of times I can't because I see that paycheck coming in. I'm like, oh, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. I like that. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger every month. But I lose what my company is actually trying to build. And then I end up getting stuck in this wheel, this rat race, as they say, of doing the same thing over and over and over. My company's getting bigger on this side, but then I'm like, oh crap, everything else is becoming messy on this side. This is my problem with posting on social media. And this is why I post a lot and then I don't post. And I post a lot and I don't post. I'm not very consistent. I'm all over the place. And this is the main reason. And I see this with companies all the time is that they become so busy with their daily lives or their daily business lives that they neglect everything else. You have to stop. Sometimes you just have to stop completely and say, I have to fix this part, or I need to put more focus on or emphasis on this every week. If you do it every week, it's a lot easier. Trust me, it really is. But don't focus on 4 or 5 different companies. Instead, focus on one company, and then as you're building that company up and you're actually getting revenue in or income in, I would say income because revenue could be depleted very quickly if you're not careful. That's why you need to have a bookkeeper like myself to keep you in check because I will say things to you, say, hey man, you're spending too much. You need to stop. Okay, you're spending way too much, or you need to start investing, or you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to buy real estate, or whatever the case is. I'm not a tax accountant, but I've been in this industry long enough to understand what's going on with things. Um, so you have to be very careful not to get too busy and not to let the company run your life. You need to run the company. Okay. All right. So as they say, what is it? Don't work for the company, run it. So you got to get to that point to where you're not working for the company. Instead, you're running the company. And you have to completely understand that. And you have to sit down sometimes and say, hey, what do I need to do? Sit down with your bookkeeper. Your bookkeeper, trust me, if you have a bookkeeper like myself to where I own my own company, I have my own LLC, and I'm doing multiple companies at one time, each and every day. I have multiple industries that I'm currently have to follow or do business with, I guess I should say, because I'm doing their books. And I talk to these people all the time. Talk to those bookkeepers and say, hey man, what can I do to do better? Oh, you can do this, you can do that. What are other companies doing for this? Even though I sometimes I don't like that question because I'm like, I'm doing what other companies do, but you have to ask them those questions. And if bookkeepers get offended by it, then you don't have the right bookkeeper. Okay, so but just do keep that in mind. Ask your bookkeeper. Ask your tax accountant. Ask your lawyer. What are other companies doing? Because they'll have the most insight because they work with these companies on a daily basis, okay, or monthly, weekly, whatever, yearly basis. They'll know what to do or what other companies are doing, okay. So you have to keep that in mind. I mean, if you have a laundry place, I'm knowledgeable about laundry places. If you own a laundry place, real estate, same thing. What else? Could be tech. I have a couple of companies that do tech. Okay, so you have to understand, and some of them lose money, some of them make money. But I've noticed one thing: the companies that lose money never talk to their bookkeeper. I've learned that every time. Every single company never talks to the bookkeeper. And even if which is bad, it looks bad on me because it looks like I don't push hard enough. Oh yeah, I do. Trust me, I push hard. I'll send emails and messages out the wazoo. No response. And guess what? Those people are too busy to do better because they don't pay attention or they got too much on their plate and they're not thinking about their books. They're not looking at their books. They're not asking questions about their books or about anything operational. What are other companies doing? How can I improve this workflow? And that's usually the biggest problem that I see is the workflow is all screwed up, and they're just too busy to do better, unfortunately. Um, so just keep that in mind. Do one thing at a time. Don't overstress yourself too much because it will lead to the hospital. They really will. I've seen that happen as well. You overstress yourself, or you try to do too much at one time, or you're trying to do too many industries at one time. I got some companies that do the same industry, got two separate companies, but they're the same industry. Why? Why can you not have that under the same company? Would that make sense? Yes, it would. Well, you're operating two separate companies, but it's the same industry. I don't understand that, but it has. I think that's pretty much it as far as I can remember today. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video. This is a very insightful video in my opinion because bookkeepers know and accountants know more about companies than a lot of people think because they deal with it every day. All right, they see the expenses, they see your income, they see your revenue, they see your assets, your liabilities, everything. And they can tell you, hey, it's time for you to grow, or you're wasting your funds. You're keeping too much in the bank. Oh, I need it because of this. No, you don't. If you're receiving $100,000 every month and it's consistent, and your bank account balance is growing and growing and growing and growing, you're not using your funds in the proper way. You don't need to just leave them in the bank. You need to do something with them. That does not mean take them out and live a lavish lifestyle. No, you need to invest in them or start, throwing some assets at your company, getting your company some assets. Anyways, let me know what you thought about this video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.